You can see and hear the sights and sounds of the season, the magnificent trees. It even smells like Christmas. It's a symphony for the senses, an escape from the everyday. It's a Longwood Christmas.
Happy holidays. I'm Jessica D.
And I'm Chris May.
We're at Longwood Gardens in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. It is a very popular place this time of year.
Because not only are we presenting really terrific artists, but the setting is unparalleled. You can see some artists in different places. Sometimes we bring in artists that aren't going to be seen anywhere else. But then to be able to see it in this location, whether it's right here or outside in our gardens in the summertime or in our ballroom, there are no other spaces like this.
Chef Will Brown has come up with some amazing dishes. Check out this bird's nest, tying into this year's theme. But that's dessert. We'll have more on that later. Brown has worked hard to put a Yuletide spin on the menu at 1906, where you can enjoy fine dining at Longwood Gardens.
We strive to make sure that our presentations are above and beyond.
He showed us how he prepares his roasted lamb dish.
The way we've tied it in with the holiday theme is just to continue the spirit of Longwood into our plates and our dishes and our presentations.
We are on our way out to Melbourne to a museum that is going to be unlike any other museum we have visited thus far.
Right off Horseshoe Trail is the Wharton Esherick Museum, open by appointment only. To get in, you gotta call Julie Ganaway, Executive Director.
Esherick was an artist who worked primarily in wood. He eventually becomes known as the leader of the studio furniture movement, as much as for being a sculptor of wood as well.
So it's no wonder his own home is like living inside a sculpture. Curator Laura Hemer explained he started with a studio and house in 1926.
You'll notice a lot of curved lines.
Yeah.
Wharton doesn't like straight lines because he didn't think straight lines involved thinking. But once you start making a curve, then you start thinking about your design.
And just looking around this room, from the table to the ceiling beams, everything that catches your eye is detailed in a very cool artistic way.
Oh, big time.
In 1940, Esherick added in attic bedroom, filled it with art and books, and built the bed up high to take advantage of the southern view.
Oh! Oh wow, what's happening?
So this is a trap door that was designed to keep the sawdust from the studio down below from coming up here and getting into his living space.
In 1966, Esherick crafted a kitchen inside a curved silo.
So did he make everything himself?
Oh yeah, pretty much. If he didn't have to buy something, he didn't. The staircase is pretty phenomenal. It was built in 1930. It can be disassembled. Oh. It's left the building 3 times
No
to
kidding.
go on exhibit. Most notably to the 1940s World's Fair up in New York City.
Everywhere our eyes are going, there's different things to be absorbed.
It's true.
In these spaces.
You have to come here. Everyone that comes in here feels immediately at home.
There's a small town feel as you swing through Main Street in Solderton, Montgomery County. Scooter's Bike Shop has been here for 40 years.
They're starting this revitalization, and it seems that people are kind of embracing small town shopping again. And hopefully it'll just continue to grow.
Leave Main Street and head down the road about 10 minutes to a place for a coffee connoisseur.
A roastery where they actually roast all of their own coffee.
More than 60,000 pounds of coffee beans are roasted at One Village Coffee in Solderton every year. Victoria Perez showed me some of the secrets behind the beans.
Where do you get all the beans? Do they come from all over the world?
Absolutely. Those beans, much like wine grapes, they have inherent characteristics.
Yes.
Latin America is going to be chocolatey, Asia Pacific earthy, Africa fruity, so you can really notice when you have them side by side.
I'm surprised it's as fruity as it is.
We source the green beans from all these coffee countries, and once they come here, we roast them in these very large roasters that are actually just behind you that we can check out.
So they come in, you get these big bags of beans delivered.
This week, I'm rolling to Doylestown for a place that's pure Pennsylvania.
An amazing museum. Whether you know art or whether you don't know art, there's something for everybody here.
The Michener Art Museum got its start as something very different, said director and CEO Lisa Trumper Hanover.
Well, the James A. Michener Art Museum had its first life as a prison. So the prison was donated to the Arts Council. We have grown exponentially over our almost 30 years here.
There are these stunning paintings everywhere.
This gallery represents what we were built for, and that is the Pennsylvania Impressionist painters.
One of the crown jewels at the Michener Art Museum is a 22-foot mural rescued from decades of neglect.
A woman up in Atco, Pennsylvania, knew this mural existed on the back of an auditorium. It had had cigarette butts in it, it had been deteriorated.
That is crazy.
Yeah, we are so fortunate that we're now the caretakers of this.
Our trip takes us from Philly to Pottstown, Montgomery County, and rural Moulton, Berks County.
Well, we just got off 422 and now we're headed towards one of Pottstown's favorites. I hear I'm gonna have one of the most amazing sandwiches. Come on in.
Eugene Dugan and wife Sheila opened Grumpy's hand-carved sandwiches 6 years ago.
The first thing that I have to ask is the name Grumpy's. Is it true that that came from
him, my son?
From your son?
Correct.
We should name it after Daddy. And every one of the kids said, what, Grumpy? And he was a little grumpy being unemployed for 18 months.
We didn't have a next month's mortgage or rent when we opened the door up 6 years ago. We just took a gamble.
It's paid off for the grump behind the grub.
Got your meatloaf ready, man.
My favorite is his corned beef sandwich. It is the best this side of Philadelphia.
We looked on Yelp and this place had like really killer Yelp reviews.
Oh, that is so good.
Number 4, no bread, man.
Grumpy's hopes Pottstown's downtown is poised for a comeback.
We have some great investors that are buying up the buildings and they have the money to fix them.
Grumpy, I love how you're putting me to work. This is so soft and tender. Am I doing
So your
is this
baby's
good?
butt.
All right. Am I hired?
Maybe.
We just entered Berks County on Route 10, and we're gonna go meet some new friends.
Welcome to Take Two Alpacas. Len Smith is the owner.
We say it's a business that feels like a hobby. We're probably the only alpaca farm that I know of that actually lets you in the field and you can walk around. They're the short cousin of a llama. They're related to llamas and to camels.
There are 18 alpacas here, including Jinx, Trixie, Jewel, Gidget, Kaylin, Cassandra, Flirtation. I could go on and on if I had time.
This one here is very friendly. She'll come up and give you a kiss. If you,
So sweet.
Yeah, time for your kiss.
This is Rising Starlet.
Oh my gosh, are you just precious or what? They're just like these big stuffed animals.
Every spring, they're shorn of their fleece.
It gets made into yarn, then we weave them on the loom over here.
Talk to me about Berks County. Why is it so awesome out here?
Well, you know, it's a nice distance from Philadelphia, so you can kind of get away from it all.
Yeah.
This is our little slice of heaven.
This dream drive takes us to Doylestown Township, but first, we're driving a little farther northeast to Mechanicsville.
35 acres of farmland, 8 of which are pure lavender, and of course, they've got animals there.
Carousel Farm off Street Road is an 18th century farm redesigned by co-owner Nico Christo. He grew up in Cyprus.
About 11 years ago, a partner and I went to Provence and got inspired from the beautiful fields of lavender. I planted a few thousand plants the first year, and then now we have 15,000.
Each variety of lavender is planted in rows and blooms in stages.
So what exactly is this kind of
This
lavender?
is an English variety called heat coat, and this is primarily used for cooking.
We came to see the lavender in bloom. It just smells so wonderful. I love it.
Right on site, they make essential oils, lavender water, potpourri, and of course, dried bunches.
People come and walk around and they meditate and of course take pictures.
The fields will continue to bloom through July. You can schedule a full tour for $10, but taking a stroll and drinking it all in is absolutely free.
Like dinosaurs.
Yes. We're in the Natural History Hall that just opened up this summer again. It's called Written in the Rocks. It's Fossil Tales of New Jersey.
You can look back through 3.5 billion years of natural history and meet some of New Jersey's former residents, like a turtle fossil that's 67 million years old.
Wait, that's his neck and that's his head right there.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yes. These are our Dryptosaurus. It is a New Jersey dinosaur.
Wow.
And we have 2 of them locked in battle.
We are going to go look at something really cool. Do you guys want to know what it is?
Yes.
It's a T-Rex head.
People love to take pictures with it, and it just says that this is where the dinosaurs are.
What do you like about them?
Well, I like the
We are on our way to a family farm in Lansdale that's got miniature golf, it's got a pumpkin patch, ice cream, all the things I love.
If you like ice cream and you like to play miniature golf, I mean, Freddie Hill Farms is really a fun place to be.
Freddie Hill Farms is a working farm growing feed corn, but for 25 years, it's also been a center of fun in Montgomery County at Freddie's Family Fun Center.
We go all over looking for mini golf courses, and we found this one.
I've been coming here with my children and my grandchildren basically since it opened.
We have lots of families coming from not just the local and regional area, but we often see license plates from New Jersey and New York.
The farm is getting ready for pumpkin season.
Well, we actually plant the pumpkins in mid-June, and then they are usually ripe and ripening, as you can see, in September.
But the biggest draw might be the ice cream made right on the premises.
Chocolate Rainforest is our award-winning flavor.
Can I get some more? We are on our way to a really cool place that became a National Historic Landmark in 1970. So if you're a history buff like me, you are in for a real treat.
Welcome to Fort Mifflin. We're probably the most historic, heroic historic site you've never heard of.
Fort Mifflin served in every major American war. In 1777, the Patriots battled the British Navy for 6 weeks right here.
It was reconstructed as part of the first and second system of seacoast fortifications, garrison for the War of 1812, a federal prison during the Civil War, naval munitions depot during World War I, and munitions depot and anti-aircraft battery during World War II.
Where exactly are we standing right now?
Standing, you have the impression that you're underground,
Yes.
don't you? But we're actually in tunnels called casemates or bomb-proof shelters that were built in the late 18th century. So this was built as barracks in case of any future bombardment.
It's also a hotspot for ghost hunters. Sometimes a visitor who believes in the paranormal swears they saw something in these tunnels.
He came back up to the office and said, "You didn't tell me you were having a Halloween party. There was a Civil War soldier in the back of the casemates."
I just got goosebumps.
Yep. Where? You never know what you're going to see. We have often a lot of extra add-on demonstrations.
I'm excited to see that cannon, so I say let's go.
Awesome.
All right.
Guide and all-around expert Alex Bell fires the reproduction weapons.
It's a small field cannon. It fires a cannonball that weighs approximately 3 pounds. I'm gonna load it, and I will let you fire it.
All right.
Okay?
Deal. I don't know why, but I all of a sudden just got nervous. Can I just touch it to that thing?
Yep.
Woo, baby.
I don't belong here. I want my life back.
This is Helen Hugo, and this is the room where she says she's been held against her will for 3 years. To hear Hugo's story, the I-Team had to go inside her nursing home undercover. It's where Hugo says her visitors are turned away.
What do you want people to know?
Well, I think they should be made aware that this kind of thing is going on.
Hugo says in 2011, she was forced out of this senior apartment building and into the home. Her IRA cashed out and her belongings taken.
I still haven't found my jewelry.
She claims her court-appointed guardian is to blame.
She steals, she lies. She's an evil person.
She's talking about Barbara Lieberman.
Do I know you?
My name's Charlotte Huffman. I'm with CBS3. Lieberman recently admitted to stealing millions from other seniors she was supposed to be helping. The charges? The guardian and prominent attorney ran a scam with the owner of a senior care company and 2 others. The victims? Their own clients. Police say they forced seniors into nursing homes, stole more than $2.4 million from at least 10 of them, and used the money to pay off 6-digit credit card bills and buy things like this BMW and a luxury condo in Florida.
I've got the state's charges here. You forged a power of attorney, transferred money into your own bank account, even executed wills for the people so you could steal from them after they died. How do you sleep at night?
Lieberman hid from our cameras, then she called security.
What about Helen Hugo? Did you steal from her?
3 years ago, county doctors deemed Hugo a mentally incapacitated person, but the I-Team obtained the findings of a September psychiatric evaluation requested by Hugo's relatives. It found no evidence of that. Instead, the psychiatrist writes Hugo is fully competent to decide where she would like to live and to make financial decisions.
She didn't sit well with me.
Hugo's niece, Barbara Martin, says she knew years ago that something wasn't right. So she and her husband began filing complaints and writing letters to get Hugo out of the nursing home and away from Lieberman.
The more we uncovered, the more we dug, the more fraud we discovered, the more they tried to keep us quiet.
In a letter to the Martins' attorney, Lieberman, as her guardian, banned them from visiting Hugo, saying she wants nothing further to do with the Martins. Hugo tells us the opposite.
She tried to come, they turned her away, telling her that I didn't want to see her, which is a big lie because I'd love to see her.
I am petrified Helen is going to die before we get her out. She's missed 3 years of holidays now.
Hugo has only been allowed to see the Martins to celebrate her 85th birthday earlier this year, but normally their holidays look more like this, blowing kisses from outside her window.
It's very sad.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I want my life back.
Barbara Lieberman wore handcuffs and an orange jumpsuit in court, facing a very different life than the one she's used to.
Do I know you?
My name's Charlotte Huffman. I'm with CBS3. The I-Team first exposed Lieberman in November. Prosecutors say she and 3 others stole $3.8 million from at least 16 victims and used the money to pay off 6-digit credit card bills and buy things like this BMW and a luxury condo in Florida. Authorities say the women offered legal and in-home services to the elderly, then took control of their life savings.
Miss Lieberman was the quarterback of this team of scam artists. This is why people don't trust lawyers.
How do you sleep at night? Lieberman tried to hide from our cameras last fall, but today there was no place to hide.
I am truly sorry. I'm fully to blame here, Your Honor.
Lieberman got 10 years in prison. She's eligible for parole in 3.5. She also agreed to pay $3 million in restitution, but all of her victims except one have already died. Afterward, Lieberman's husband said he never knew what was going on.
My wife's an attorney. She should have never done this. We did not need the money at all.
She got what she deserved. She had to go to prison. The crime was a significant crime.
And others may also go to jail with the help of testimony from Lieberman. Last week, a grand jury indicted her alleged co-conspirators and 2 others connected to the case. For the I-Team, I'm Charlotte Huffman, CBS3 Eyewitness News.
On the Health Alert tonight, a grieving mother's warning. A popular medication taken by millions can cause devastating and long-term side effects. 3 on Your Side health reporter Stephanie Stahl has exclusive details.
Happy Mother's Day, dear Mommy. Happy Mother's Day to you.
He'd been so sweet and happy and become a promising young man. Now there are only the memories.
I'm going to be living the rest of my life without my son.
Rosemary's son Randy was just 22 when he killed himself. His parents blamed the hair loss drug Propecia. Randy was taking it because his curly red hair had started to recede.
It is so not worth it.
The warning label says there can be sexual side effects, including lack of desire and difficulty achieving an erection. They're supposed to go away when men stop taking the drug. Not for Randy. He told his parents when he stopped taking Propecia, the impotence continued, along with deepening depression.
He hated all the things that the drug had done to him. He hoped his family and friends would understand why he didn't want to live anymore.
Randy and scores of other men have shared their devastating discoveries on PropeciaHelp.com, but they're too embarrassed to show their faces.
Basically destroyed my life. It's devastating.
It's not worth it if you can't have a sex life. I feel like my 20s have been taken away from me, and it's just not, it's not fair.
New research from Dr. Michael Irwig at George Washington University shows some men can have persistent sexual side effects lasting 5 years after they stop taking Propecia.
The presence of persistent sexual side effects in young men who were previously completely healthy can really take a big toll on their life.
Propecia works by altering hormones. Dr. Irwig suspects in a small percentage of men that can cause sexual dysfunction. Merck, the maker of Propecia, says that study is flawed.
They feel less than human because of it.
South Jersey lawyer Alan Milstein is suing Merck on behalf of several men who claim the drug ruined their lives.
When something as essential as sexual pleasure is taken from you, it has a profound effect.
He says Merck has not adequately warned men taking Propecia about the potential for long-term impotence.
Whether that was done intentionally so that they can make a lot of money and not scare people away, that's going to remain to be seen as this lawsuit progresses.
9 years old, right?
Randy's parents say he tried therapy and different medications, but nothing worked.
This is really the closest thing we have to a suicide note.
Randy's father saved his son's posting from the Propecia Help website.
I'm really hoping that this drug kills me, so I don't have to do it myself. I don't think my family and friends would ever understand suicide, but if they really knew the meaningless, ghostly hell I'd descended into, then they would understand.